Imagine South Park, but make it Kuwaiti. Make it air during Ramadan. Remove the swearing, add traditional values, and boom, you've got Block 13. Block 13 was the first animated series produced in the Gulf region. It aired in Kuwait in the early 2000s and quickly became a staple of childhood for a whole generation. But here's the wild part. Despite being based on one of the most controversial cartoons in the West, Block 13 was a cultural hit in the Middle East. So how did a show, inspired by foul-mouthed kids from Colorado, become a wholesome Ramadan tradition in Kuwait? Let's talk about it. Block 13 was created by Nawaf Salim Al-Shamari and aired on Kuwait TV from 2000 to 2002, with reruns every Ramadan for years. It followed the lives of 6 kids living in a Kuwaiti neighborhood: Hamoud, Aboud, Azuz, Faruha, Saloom, and Karkar. Each character had a distinct personality, and yes, one of them died almost every episode. And no, you're not hallucinating. That's literally what happened to Saloom. He's kind of like the Kenny of Block 13. Every episode something bizarre would happen, and poor Saloom would get caught in the chaos. People online joke that it's a miracle he made it past season 1. Block 13 leaned hard into slapstick humor. Exploding cakes, talking animals, haunted houses. It was chaotic in the best way possible. But it also had a heart. It taught lessons. It touched on family, school, friendship, and even weird urban legends floating around the Gulf. The animation was simple, but it worked. The art style was heavily influenced by early 2000s cartoons, and yes, the South Park comparison is valid, especially with the static mouths and stiff movement. But the tone? Completely different. Instead of vulgarity and political satire, Block 13 had moral lessons and lighthearted fun. There were no politicians getting roasted, no edgy jokes, just good old-fashioned chaos with a Kuwaiti twist. It was made for Ramadan, after all. That means it had to be family-friendly. You could sit down with your siblings, your cousins, your grandma, and everyone would be, or at least confused in a good way. One reason the show stood out was its use of Kuwaiti Arabic. That may not sound like a big deal, but for kids growing up watching dubbed anime and American cartoons, hearing your own slang and accent in a cartoon, that's huge. It wasn't just a show, it was representation. Block 13 also featured cultural in-jokes, the way the kids talked to their parents, how they interacted with teachers, even stuff like sharing food during Ramadan. It all felt very real if you were from that world. And then it ended. Block 13 only ran for 3 seasons. After 2002, it kind of disappeared. For a while, it became one of those "do you remember this show" topics in late-night WhatsApp chats and random YouTube comments. But in 2020, it came back. Reruns of Block 13 started airing again on Kuwait TV every Ramadan, and suddenly the nostalgia wave hit hard. People started uploading old episodes. Some even translated them. And Gen Z, they discovered it like it was some weird forgotten cartoon from an alternate universe. Which, to be fair, it kind of is. Then, in 2022, the creator announced a reboot. 13th Street! New art style, new stories, same characters. It didn't have the same chaotic energy as the original, but it brought Block 13 back into the conversation. And, let's be honest, it never really left. Block 13 worked because it didn't try to copy Western cartoons directly. It took inspiration, sure, the structure, the humor, even the pacing, but it made it fit the culture. It spoke to a specific audience without alienating outsiders. It wasn't edgy, it wasn't trying to go viral, it was just weird and fun and very, very Kuwaiti. And somehow, that's exactly what made it special. Even today, people still quote it. They still laugh at the episodes where Saloom gets crushed by a meteor or eaten by a mutant goat or whatever wild thing they came up with. It's a part of regional pop culture. And if you missed it, now's the time to catch up. Block 13 wasn't just a show. It was a moment. And honestly, it deserves to be remembered. All right, and thank you so much for watching, and here's a rat dancing to that banger of an intro.